Hi, my name is Michelle Sleight, and one of the biggest mistakes that I have made in my life was as a rebellious teenager. I decided to leave the church and experience life the way I wanted to. I was raised in the church. My father was a preacher and went to church regularly. Even though I knew about God, I knew a lot about God. However, I didn't have a relationship with God. I decided to experiment with drugs and alcohol, being promiscuous. Very quickly wound up addicted to drugs and alcohol, depressed, hopeless, lonely, found myself in despair and wanted to die. Very suicidal. No friends that helped me out. I chose friends that were also addicted. It was fun, it was exciting, but there was a cost. At the end of it, wound up losing everything. I lost my marriage, my firstborn son. I lost my relationship with him. No, it wasn't worth it. I was in a relationship that was abusive. There was a point where, I thought I was going to die. He was that abusive. At the age of 30, I found myself back at home with my parents. And my dad presented the same gospel to me that I had heard growing up in the church. And growing up in the church, it didn't make sense to me, but at the age of 30, it clicked. I remember sitting there and almost hearing the voice of the Lord saying to me, "You've got to either choose life or choose death." And I decided to choose life. And so at that point, I surrendered my life to the Lord. I think there's a lot of stigma to being a preacher's kid. I guess I was the typical PK. I was kind of made to go to church on a regular basis, had to go to church, had to go to Sunday school, church functions, and it didn't really mean anything to me. So I got hooked up with the wrong crowd. Just took me down a dark, hopeless road. So after praying the prayer of repentance and the sinner's prayer, I surrendered my life to the Lord, and He began to take my hardened heart, which was quite hardened, and soften it. Set me free. He delivered me from all of the addictions that I was bound to, and made it clear to me that I was to leave Greensboro, North Carolina, because that's basically my Egypt. And I had to leave the area that was so influential. I just knew too many people, and I didn't want to get sucked back into, that lifestyle, which would have been easy to do. So I moved to Syracuse, New York. I've got relatives here who I knew would help me get on my feet spiritually and discipled and grounded, help me rebuild my life because I had lost everything. It's full of pain and heartache. The devil doesn't care about you. He wants to kill you. He wants to destroy you and rob you of everything. And it's hard to recover from that. But God is greater, and by His mercy and His grace, He's able to transform a life like He did mine. He's really taken a broken person with nothing, and I consider myself a trophy of His grace.